I like this spot. This is at Ziggy's Coffee there at Dan Jones and 100 South. I get to watch the roundabout. I'm finishing up a bike ride this morning. Had to go pick up some lettuce at Meijer. Part of my weight loss plan. I started at January 1, 200, and I'm going to say 218, but I was probably 220. And I really don't like stepping on the scale. So I did not step on the scale until 2 days ago. And I was 194. And then I said, well, okay. Because you hate to like step on a scale, for working on something for so long and you don't see any change. So, rather than do that, I usually only step on a scale when I go see my heart doctor, once a year. And it's kind of like one of those, come on, 190, and you're 220 and you haven't done anything different. So it's Tuesday morning, it's a beautiful morning. I had to buy some gloves at Meijer when I was there today because it's a little chill in the air. But it feels really good. It's going to be a slow day at Dig Dig, I can assure you that. I kind of got a big week because about 2 months ago I signed up for an elective at my church, at Radiant Bible Church, for Vacation Bible Study, VBS. And it's a pretty large VBS. I think we have like 225 kids. And I said, yeah, I can do something like Monday through Thursday. And Malia, who runs it at the church, she put me on a schedule for one day on Thursday. That's in 2 days. And man, I'm glad she did, because I'm still not ready. I don't, so she assigned to me 16 kids, which is great, but it's more than what I thought. And I only had 5 sand tables, so I'm doing this kinetic, the horns going off on 100 South, the roundabout. So I'm doing this these sand tables, and I'm doing a guided kinetic sand and molds. I don't even know what to call it, right? It's just, we call it the Dino Zone at Dig Dig, and it's sand tables, and we make our own molds and everything. And I only have 5 tables, and she assigned me 16 kids. I'm like, I need more tables. And so, I'm like, I got to make 4 more tables. And everything's done except I got to pick up the templates, and I'm hoping that they're ready today. But I'm a little nervous because I've never done a guided session before, but I want to do them. But yet, I'm not really great with kids. I got to learn to be better with kids. Some people out there might go, you think? So here's kind of my agenda. I'm going to start out with the simple molds, which are brick molds, right? And you make 3 bricks. And, I got an hour with them, and I got 2 different sessions. That's 32 kids. And, what can I do in 1 hour that might make a difference in a kid's life? That's a tough agenda. But as I think about it, as we all go through this life, we're involved in tasks and we're trying to accomplish things. And I think all too often we focus on the result, right? Getting to that result instead of enjoying the task. And then so what ends up happening is you're always stressed out and you never really perform at your best, right? You never, for example, right, if I'm going to clean my garage, which I have to do frequently, I have 2 ways to clean it. I can just, I'm just going to brush this up and put things out of the way, and or I can take a day and enjoy that day and actually make a change in the garage. But it's a mindset change. And I think the same way, that same philosophy kind of works with kiddos, that if you're going to learn to clean your room or make your bed, then you need to start with focusing on the task and not just trying to rush through the task. And as you focus on that task, you get a better result. And that's what I'm trying to establish with my sand molds, right? So if I give them these brick molds, you can just pack the sand in it and you can push it down and you could have a round brick, right? It's just not that great. But if you actually fill the brick mold, we call them shapers. If you fill the shaper and take your time and you get the sand off the edges of it and you pack it in there really good, and then you see the result, now you got a really nice quality brick that you can build things with. I love these hatchbacks that like have the loud mufflers on them. This goes 4-cylinder, nothing happens. Those are funny. So I've got 3 different activities. I've got the bricks, right? We're going to start out with the bricks. And then I'm going to move to dyno molds, right? And so I've got some medium-sized dyno molds. I think I got enough to give every kid. And then I've got a giant brontosaurus, right? This thing's like, I don't know, 13, 14 inches long. It takes a lot of sand, right? And so as a team, they'll build the brontosaurus. And I don't want to get like, who has the best brontosaurus? You'd have like, hey, they win, you lose. I don't think I want to do that. But I want to instill the fact that we want to try to take our time and we want to build a good brontosaurus. And then the last activity is another project that we're working on. It's called Figgies. So Figgies are a set of 13 different shapers that you configure to make different types of construction trucks, like a bulldozer or an excavator or a dump truck or a garbage truck. And all these different molds have numbers on them, and you have this builder's guide that you build these things with. I had to get all those molds ready, and my buddy Lehman, right, he is a 3D designer, and I couldn't quite get these things to print right, and just the other day he got them ready. Now my 3D printer's like zooming like crazy because he's trying to print 9 sets of Figgies, and Jennifer's actually building the builder's guide that fits inside the box, and I really don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing Thursday morning. I've got to kind of get that in my mind. What's the thing that I really want to impress upon with the kiddos, and how do I want to do those activities? Because they are like kindergarten, I think it's all like kindergarten and first grade. Wow. There's 225 kids coming to this into this vacation Bible study, and Malia did something so that she put every kiddo's name on a bracelet, right? And she actually put everyone that's involved in the VBS's name on a bracelet. And I didn't even know that until afterwards, right? That people that were involved get a bracelet. And then everyone picked a bracelet, and then we spent this week, praying for that one individual. And I got Jossie, right? So Jossie's been on my heart. 2nd grade. No idea who she is, but I know her name. Anyway, afterwards I realized that someone's got a bracelet with my name on it, and I thought that was really cool. I never had anyone like individually pray for me all week. And believe me, I need all the prayer I can get.